Hello, everyone. I'm gonna get started pretty soon. All right. Get a little bit of quiet morning voice today. So let's go ahead and switch over to ta-da! I made a new-ish screen for specifically for learning hieroglyphs. Um, that's why I'm starting like 20 minutes late. Is because for one, I'm pretty eepy. My my voice is still a little croaky from last night's tarot reading, but I wanted to at least get a little bit of studying done. But yeah, I also started a little bit late because I was setting up this screen over here. Usually I draw in let me show you. Usually I draw like this. Like 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 this. But because we're using resources for the glyph learning, I wanted to have like the book that I'm using as a reference right next to me so that you all can see it too, so that you all can learn too. So that's what I'm gonna be trying out today. Forgot my intro again. So hi everyone. This is Babinka Bear, artist, historian, art historian, and Sun Bear PNG tuber, and today we're learning how to write and draw Egyptian hieroglyphs. This isn't the first time I've streamed this. Or this isn't the first time I've streamed like a glyph learning stream. Art historian, good morning, Matthew. Good morning. Thanks for joining in. But yeah, so this isn't the first time I've done this. I did a glyph learning stream like a couple weeks back, maybe like last month. Um, and we got up to this. So this is the book I'm using. I don't think I did not write the author. Yay, I'm glad, I'm glad. And sorry that you missed the tarot one last night. But I'm glad to see you here, Matthew. Yeah, so we're gonna be learning some hieroglyphs together. I should actually write down because I actually physically have this book. These are actually like scans that I took. So let me write down the name of this book. It's How to Read Egypt. It's right in front of me. I'm gonna write it in chat. Oh no, your sleep schedule has been wrecked. Oh no. I know you live in EST, right? So right now is it 3 hours ahead? It's like 11 a.m. for you. Let me know. But how to read Egyptian hieroglyphs? By who is this? Mark Collier, Bill Manley. His name is Manley. The book I'm using. Okay, let me copy that. Paste it in the chat. I'm also going to paste this in my personal Discord. Just in case. He's so manly. Yeah, so such a flexible last name. Yeah, I've definitely seen some interesting ones, especially like when I encounter other professors or teachers. Um I think the most intimidating last name I've ever encountered is slaughter. Like SL, like laughter but with an S, like to slaughter someone. I've encountered like a teacher whose name was like Mr. Slaughter. It's like, wow, that's kind of intense. As a poll worker, you saw someone with the last name Mal. Oh wow, which is like it's not spelled the same, but like if you were to hear it audibly, it'd be like, oh my god, you have it's Mr. Malice. Yeah, yeah, Sergeant Slaughter. Exactly, exactly. So yeah, this is the book I'm using. The last time I streamed hieroglyph learning, we got through all the way to here. This is pretty much the bread and butter of the first chapter. It's just writing out the. Actually, I'm gonna zoom in. Like this is essentially the alphabet, but the thing with any foreign language is that, or any language that isn't the same as the language that you speak, is that the sounds that they make are not always going to be the same as the sounds you make. So they might have letters that we don't have, and then we have letters that they don't have, which is why you see what looks like repeats. So, looks like you can see my cursor as well. But so over here we have like ah, but we also have another ah, and then we have like a y, another like a third ah. Let's see, two of these sounds, the h sound, two k's, um, yeah, the rest of and like some of them just like sound. Oh yeah, two h's. So there is some explanation. Let me zoom back out. There is some explanation here, down here. So like this ah is not really an ah. It's what's called a glottal stop. For English speakers, the only times that like we do have a glottal stop, but it doesn't have its own letter. But we do have it in words like uh-oh, like uh-oh. Um, it's like you're in the middle of saying a vowel, and you clench your throat muscles as it says here. Or you like it stops midway through, so instead of oh it's uh-oh. That's what this one is. I'm trying to remember the difference between these two, or like this almost feels like a combination of ah and e. And then this one, the one that's a vulture, actually this one, it's a no wait, just kidding, this is the glottal stop. You could tell I'm still waking up. The vulture is the glottal stop. This is the one that's like, uh-oh. This one is different. So this is trying to say ah while swallowing, made by clenching the throat muscles. So, ang. It's almost like the Filipino ang. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I'm still eepy. Especially with like with the Thanksgiving break. I haven't been waking up like at this time usually. And I've been staying up late to like watch streams or game or just like scroll on my phone. So, um I got okay sleep, but I'm still eepy. Okay, so this kind of reminds me of like the Filipino ang. It's saying trying to say ah while swallowing. So ang. It's almost like a soft ang. Made by clenching the throat muscles to imitate say ah oh. I'm not gonna put my finger on throat, but it says that's one way to imitate it. Um, Another thing that I found is this. Oh, it's a bit small. Let me see if I can make it bigger. I don't know if that's readable. Okay, that's better. That's better. Okay, but yeah, it's an old site. You could see like by the way that the site looks, it looks either old or like it was made with HTML. I mean, not to roast the person that made this site. Imagine they're like tuning in, like, let's see what's happening on Twitch.com. Oh, this person's trying to learn some hieroglyphs. Oh, that's my site. They're looking at. Oh, they don't like the design. Hopefully, that's not happening right now. But yeah, as you can see, like the design is pretty simple, but it still like communicates what it needs to communicate, right? So this site is basically all about the pronunciation of ancient Egyptian. I'll put this in the chat. So pronunciation. There we go. Savagely roasting their design skills. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's like there's a table. You can make this on Google. You can make it design wise. You can make this on Google Docs pretty easily. But the information in it, it's the actual content that's pretty impressive, right? Like, look at all of this. This is so much information, right? So, but yeah, what I want to draw your attention to is this like chart over here, which kind of explains a little bit further about the pronunciation. So I was just talking about the glottal stop, the vulture, right? So or a glottal plosive. The Hebrew aleph, the Arabic hamsa, the English Cockney pronunciation of T and bottle, bottle of water. And then we have here these two. So this is a reed leaf that you can see here, and then there's the double reed leaf. Those are two different letters. Actually, how about this? I should actually get to drawing some of these symbols. So even though I did do a chart last time, but now I want to just to review. I like that they kind of start us off with a harder letter. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in just so that we could draw it along together. I found another really good resource, but I don't know if I can share this because it's someone's like personal kind of calligraphy channel. They're Japanese, but I will link it in the chat. How to draw letters. And the URL looks weird because it has Japanese characters in it. It has like hiragana, katakana. So it's pretty useful and it's pretty kind of calming to see because he draws them very well. I'm actually going to turn the volume off for this. I don't think he even had any like, might have just been ASMR, but if you watch his video, it's almost like in Japanese calligraphy, there's like a certain stroke order, or not even calligraphy, just regular writing. There's a certain order that you should be doing the strokes, and once you get the hang of it, it just gets a lot easier. So I'm actually going to be copying his stroke order, which means I'm actually going to play this very slow. So playback speed 0.25, and let's go. So I'm going to be drawing the first letter, the glottal stop. I just want to practice it. And yeah, I'm doing a lot of chicken scratches, as you can see, but it's just so I can like get some kind of muscle memory. Oh, no, too big. Oh, I forgot to put on some music. Let's go to Old Reliable or Chill Hop. Hey, Mega Bronson, good morning. Good morning. We are learning our Egyptian hieroglyphs. So I have a couple of links in the chat. I have a book. I have a physical book that I'm using as reference over here. This is a scan of it. So it's not a live cam or anything of this. I also have this pronunciation guide. And I'm also looking at a Japanese video. Good morning. Good morning. I'm looking at a Japanese video of a Japanese calligrapher that actually made a video on how to draw Egyptian hieroglyphs. So I'm kind of copying his little guide right now. So yeah, oh yeah, so this book, the topic that we're on right now is still at the very beginning. Basically, this handy little chart shows not all of them, but like a good amount of the hieroglyphs that spell out certain sounds. Of course, there's going to be hieroglyphs that like some of them mean what they say, but many others are more so like pronunciation. This is still my favorite part of the book, the very beginning. I have been roasting since the beginning of time. I've never seen the like of this goose. Because I don't know if I'm reading it correctly, but doesn't it sound like a complaint? Like, doesn't it sound like the common struggle of like, this goose is taking fucking forever to roast? And it's like, what the And can you imagine that, like, someone wrote that? Someone wrote that. I don't know where they wrote this, either on a tomb or something, because you wouldn't just see this, like, this kind of fancy writing anywhere. It would only be somewhere like a tomb or like a place where you wanted it to be remembered. Cause stuff like their daily notes, they would have written on just papyrus. Um, Mare 3. I'm curious as to where this comes from, but it's a funny little like little look into the humanity of ancient peoples, because usually it's like, this is our sacred text to the god Ra and to Amun, and our sacred prayers. Meanwhile, this one is just like, this fucking goose is taking forever to roast. That's kind of my favorite part so far. But we're looking at these symbols and trying to figure out, but one, how to draw them. Two, how to pronounce them. So that's today's focus for today. So let me put on the chill hop. There you go. And right now I'm watching the video that I linked in the chat, but I have the volume off just so I don't get DMCA'd. But I am also linking it so that you guys can see it, and also to support the calligrapher. And right now I'm kind of, it's almost as if I'm like drawing, but it's just so that I can get a, what's it called, muscle memory. I'm gonna be thinking about someone complaining as they roast a Betelgeuse. Yeah. Complaining about the goose, that's just timeless. Okay, so that's like an approximation of how to draw the first letter, which is a glottal stop. Actually, the beak can use some work. The beak is a little more like thin. And the chest is more out. Actually, I'm using straight black, I just realized. It's like, why is it so dark? When I sketch with, this is my sketching pen, or this is the brush I usually use for sketching. I almost never use like black, like straight black. Try to do a little bit of a gray. And you know, if for those unfamiliar, that's the usual art tip, is to never use like straight black unless you want like really striking shadows and stuff. But if you're drawing like realism, you never want to use real black because it flattens the image. That's one of those tips that, like, once you know about it and once you get like a good grip on art, it's one of those rules that you can break. And like I said, in the case of like making really striking shadows. Okay, let me try that again. But this time let's try to do it with less like chicken scratch. So let me rewind the video. I'm not going to be taking this long on every letter. It's just for the complicated ones that are like the vulture and the owl and the little chick. Actually, I drew that back line a little wrong. Should be a little bit more out. That goes down and then it like curves a little. Actually, it starts this way. It starts this way and then goes down and then a little out. And this one is like a curve. Then it once again goes out. This is so maybe I should label the stroke order. So this is 1, this is 2. This is 3. Oh, I looked away from the video and already missed it. Oh, actually, this one has an extra step. So actually, stroke 4 starts from here. This is going to get a little confusing, so maybe I should start using different colors. So this is 1, and you go down, and you go all the way down here. 2, curve, and you go all the way down. And then you go horizontal. 3. Go left, down, and then connect to the 2. And stroke 4, you actually come down from here. Good morning, Elle. Good morning, good morning. We're studying how to draw ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, so feel free to join in if you want. I forgot, I don't know if I said that to Mega Bronson as well. Feel free to grab a piece of paper or whichever way that you use to draw things. You can follow along or you can just chill and watch. Either's fine. Using a variety of resources here, so this is a physical book that I have. It should be in the chat. It's How to Read Ancient Egyptian Hieroglyphs. And then I have 2 other resources in the chat. I have a pronunciation guide, as well as a video which I'm not showing on my screen, but the video that's linked right above Mega Bronson's comment, that is a Japanese calligrapher drawing the symbols. So I'm kind of following his guide right now, as well as making a little bit of my own guide. We're still on the first letter. I'm chilling in bed, just listening. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, feel free to just chill too. No pressure to join in and be like, all right, class, time to turn your cameras on and show me what you got. Oh God, can you imagine? It just turns into a Zoom class real quick. So yeah, I am on the 4th stroke. 4th stroke kind of comes from the butt. Actually, let me move this a little bit. Make room for the stroke. Not the Zoom class. Good morning, Kudaketa. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Good morning, good morning. Is it also morning for you, or is it like a little or later morning? I remember your CST, right? Your central? Taking the ancient Egyptian learning ASMR. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad that my voice is, my croaky voice is not ear piercing. Not the Zoom class. Yeah, Kudaketa, we're still drawing the first glyph. I'm trying to study the stroke order. If that makes sense. It's kind of like Japanese stroke order. I realized that I should have some kind of like command through stream elements so that it's almost 11 here, so not too early. Ah. Oh, and El and Kudaket are in the same time zone. Okay. It's 11 a.m. And like I said this before, but not every letter is gonna be this dedicated. It's just for the hard ones. Cause look, when you look, I'm doing the first letter here. It looks like a vulture. I think it is a vulture. We also have an owl. We have like a little quail chick. But some of them are pretty easy. I feel like that we're not gonna spend this much time on every single letter. But alright, so continuing this one, we have number 4. Oh, they even put the eye. Oh, I'm gonna have to like erase some of these lines. Okay. So go down and then this way for the leg. Actually, that stops around here. And then we have one more line that goes down here. So let me see how I can do like a stroke order for that. So it would be, I'll make a nicer looking guide, but so it goes down and then this way. And the last line goes down this way. And then we have the little eye right there. Okay, so that's it's a little bit jumbled, but that's the stroke order I'm seeing for our first letter. I'm gonna do it one more time, trying to follow this guide, and then we're just gonna move on. Come on. And actually, I'm gonna change the brush so it feels a little bit more like I have to do it in simple strokes. Alright, let's do this. So let's do this way first. Down, curve around. Then, you know, that curve. Down again. Maybe that's a little bit too much. So curve like that. And then horizontal. Then we do the inner wing. Go down, curve in. Nah, that's too much. And curve in. Then from here, go down again, connect it, and then 5 is the legs, right? So down, horizontal, and then from the chest, the other leg. He looks kind of fat, but that's okay. I at least wanted to get the stroke order down. He looks more like a penguin. I think I made the legs a little too big, but that's okay. It's okay. Alright, but that's one letter down. Put that right here. All 3 of them look different. It's the 3 brothers. It's like the meme with the cat. It's like, I'm Sketch. I'm Stroke Order. I'm Practice. And together we are the three glottal stop brothers. We sound like this. Ah. So yeah. Alright, so that's one letter down. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other glyphs. I mentioned this at the beginning, but each of these letters. So the thing with like studying any kind of different alphabet or different script is that they're gonna have letters that we don't have, and we have letters that they don't have. So this says to say ah, but it's a little bit more complex than that. This is what's called a glottal stop. So in English, one way to say it would be like the word uh-oh. And though here it has a pretty funny like guide. It's like the Cockney pronunciation of bottle, like a bottle of water. So that's a glottal stop. You make kind of like a sound, like your throat is kind of closing as you say the sound. So that's the first one. Second one is the reed leaf. So let's go back to sketching. This one looks pretty straightforward, but let me also look at the calligrapher's guide. Oh, interesting. Okay. The calligrapher? Oh, they're going in a different order. They're doing A, B, C, D, E, F. Do they ever do the feather? They do. Okay. Okay, so they go... There's a little bit of a diagonal line and then a line that goes straight down. Followed by... I'm like zooming through this video. One that's a bit more like dramatically diagonal. And then a curve going in to connect to this line. So that's the reed leaf. It looks like stroke 1. It's just like 2 to 3 strokes. So you go a little bit diagonal and then you go all the way down. Stroke 2, just going down again. Stroke 3, or arguably this could also be just like the same stroke. Would just be a curve in like that. So let me try it again, but with the thicker brush, or with the calligraphy, or sorry, inking brush. Go down, more of a diagonal, and then curve in. Yeah, that seems pretty straightforward. Yesterday I saw a Radin clip that reminded me of you because she had like a mini presentation about Western art styles. Radin, is that from the new female group, right? From also Hololive, but they're under like Regloss. Is she the one with the mask? Radin Regloss. I'm looking it up. Yeah. Oh, is she into art history? Maybe I should have guessed with the way she's her model is dressed. I like her design. I want to watch Regloss, but you know, I'm not fluent in Japanese. But you know, I feel like a lot of people watch the Japanese talents without knowing Japanese. Sometimes it's just the vibe, you know? And if she did a presentation on Western art styles, I'd be pretty down to watch that. That's actually like pretty inspiring. It's like, wow, someone from like Hololive Regloss is doing this. I can do this. It's funny. Maybe for my next Zatsu I'll do this, but I did find some old presentations when I was showing my mom how to do Google Slides. Let me see if I can find it. I was showing her like my Google Slides because she was like, I've never worked with this and your sister needs to like learn how to work with this. Have you ever done it before? And I'm like, yeah, I do it for work. That's like quite specifically what I do for work. I like I teach, I do admin stuff, but I also make a whole lot of presentations. Oh, I have a lot. I have a presentation on bears. I have a presentation on different bears, but this is more of like a jokey one. It's a I have some friends who did a Christmas party last year, and it's one of those like you have to bring a presentation about something you really like. And of course, I did mine on bears. So maybe I'll show you guys that one next Zatsu or next time. Google Slides your actual demise. I got pretty used to it, so maybe that's why for me it's like it's like all right. Though admittedly, I do also just like at a certain point I stopped using Google Slides in favor of Canva because Canva's just like a lot nicer to use. It has like a lot of assets that you can use. It has more fonts that you can use, so like it's almost like Canva is like an upgraded version, but Google is more user friendly and like a lot more people like, you know, if you have to share this presentation with someone, then it's like it's easier to do it via Google Slides than through Canva. But okay, so we just did our second letter. This is the shape itself is called the reed leaf, and it says here to say either E or A. Let's see if there's a okay, so there's no guide here, but this other page that I linked has a guide. It's this one. Canva is my salvation as a numbers guy with no idea of design. It's super helpful. It's super user friendly in that regard. Okay, so the picture of a flowering reed. This was originally a Y, palatal glide. Oh, I gotta learn what that is. That's definitely like a linguistics term. Palatal, I think, means like your palate, so the top of your mouth. So if you like play around with your this is gonna sound kind of sussy, but I promise it's not. Play around with your tongue right now. Touch the roof of your mouth. I believe that's your palate. So a palatal glide, is that a like almost like the sound is being pushed through your palate? So or I'm just making weird noises into the mic. If any of you remember Home Improvement, do you remember the okay, and could still be written that way, or the German version of Y, the Y. The special symbol often used for this sound, however, is the letter I with an apostrophe instead of the dot. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's this. So it's an I but with an apostrophe instead of a dot. The Y in Egyptian was so weak that it was rarely pronounced. Words beginning with Y, like the name of the god Amun, simply begin with the vowels in the evidence of vocalization that we have. What does that mean? So, like their Y sound wasn't as strong, so instead of god Amun, simply begin with vowels in the evidence of vocalization. Oh, I think it's because, let's go back to this. So a lot of, when it comes to Egyptian writing, they don't always show the vowels. So, like the word for beautiful is nefer, if you know the Queen Nefertiti, nefer means beautiful. Oh no, did I spell that right? I usually depend on Google. What is it, like the feature where it like corrects it for you? Spell check. But in Egyptian you wouldn't write out the E, you would just write out NFR. Let me quickly show what I mean. So it would be, where's the N? It would be like, this is N, F is the slug, and then R is the mouth. So this is how you would write beautiful. But I guess what this is saying is that there are like gods like Amon, who if there's no vowel, then how would you write this part? Or this doesn't matter because this could be written like Amun, but then how do you know that this is like that there's an A here and it's not just like moon, right? So I guess what they're saying is that like this might be like the substitute for that. I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm still learning alongside you guys, so yeah. Did the song just say Brazil? Brazil. Okay, let's keep on going. Oh, cool. You're gonna send me the Radin clip in Discord DMs? Yeah. Please do so. Thank you, thank you. I'll watch it after the stream. I don't know if Randon is gonna be streaming today. If he is, I'll raid into him at around 10, but which means we might not finish every single letter, but I'm gonna try my best. Actually, the next letter is pretty easy. It's the reed leaf, but twice. So let's just do it again. Diagonal, curve in. Ah, wait, I don't like how that looks. And then diagonal down, diagonal, curve in. There you go. We got the double reed leaf. Or it seems like you can also just write this, which is a lot easier. Now it says that this is yi, like a Y sound. The Egyptians wrote the previous letter twice in certain contexts, since this was usually at the end of the word. So this is usually end of word. It has been argued that this is the same usage as the Hebrew or Arabic this letter, and that it actually represents the vowel of a long E, or I. It is hard to argue whether this is ye, is usually written inside the words, as in demotic word for Greek win, which is clearly from Ionian. I'm starting to get lost here, but I'm sure they know what they mean. U is usually written as ye. If J is used in the undoubled sound, these are non-committal on the issue of B. Yep, I've lost the story here. I don't know what some of these mean, but I'm sure if I were to study linguistics a little bit more, it would be a little bit more understandable. I'd be by the way, I'd be surprised if you streamed today after yesterday's collab. Yeah, true. Very true. In which case, we could also just chill until we get through all the letters. Yeah, the resources that I've been using now makes this for a lot smoother compared to like, I still like my first hieroglyph stream a lot because I got to learn a lot alongside chat, alongside you guys. I think Neanda Delta was also there helping out. So that was a really fun experience. But what I've been noticing is that with my streaming experience is that I keep learning little by little with each stream. It's really nice, and I kind of like that. Alright, so this next one is the arm. Let me look at the thing with the Japanese calligrapher that I linked in chat. Is that he goes A, B, C, D, E. He doesn't go in the same order the book is in. And I don't know if he covers every single... I'm trying to like scroll through the video right now. It doesn't look like he goes through every letter. Like, I'm looking for the arm. I don't think he does the arm. I know. Okay, I'll just have to do this one on my own then. Okay, so let's look. This one is supposed to be like an arm, or maybe this one all. Yeah, so this one has it too. So let's see. This looks like it should be. No, let me go sketching. Kind of looks like that, like a little crab claw. Horizontal, and then a square for like the forearm. Let me sketch this out again, just a couple of times. So maybe it's something like this. Where like you start here and then go all the way around? Maybe? Let me look at this one. Because it looks a little bit more like, less like a stick and more like an actual arm. And give it the good old college try. So how about we actually start from the bottom? Start from the bottom. Now we're here. There you go, horizontal. Yeah, there's like a little like muscle. I keep making it look like a crab claw. So let's move these over and let's keep on trying. I'm just gonna do a simplified version where it's just the stick and the square. That might just be the easiest, to be honest. So what I did was I went this way for the first stroke. Let me use my colors. Went this way for the first stroke. This way for the second. This way. And then I went and made a square. So up, side, down. Not upside down, but you know what I mean. Alright, so let's try it with some ink. Yeah, that looks like a good approximation of it. If I need to actually draw it out as an arm, maybe the Egyptian gods will forgive me. But for now, let's stick with that. This letter, let's see. So in this book, it says it's pronounced like another A. Let's see if there's any. Oh yeah, here. So this is the letter that's where you're trying to say ah while swallowing. So like a ang. 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 I'm not doing that part. But let's see what this one has to say. So it's definitely a different type of like ah sound. Where's the arm? Where's the arm? Where is it? Where is it? Oh no, does this not have it either? Interesting. Oh no, it's right here. How silly. Just so silly. The picture of a forearm, this represents a strongly guttural consonant, the ayn in Arabic. Oh, interesting. The throat contracts but does not close, a voice pharyngeal fricative. Fricative means friction, right? For pharyngeal, is that like, that's like in your throat, I want to say? So, oh. Egyptians today have no trouble with this, but it is a sound that does not occur in Indo-European languages. Ah, interesting. And the ayn is the famous... Wait, what? Caucasus Indo-European hypothesis. Oh, interesting. Is that saying that, like, Indo-European languages used to have this sound? Is correct? Unless this is correct, and the ayn is one of the famous lost laryngeals. It has disappeared from other Semitic languages, as it did from Coptic. Transcription type fonts represent this. Oh, I don't need to know this one. Okay, so it's a sound that does not exist in Indo-European languages, which would include like the Romance languages, and I'm assuming Germanic, and also some like someone's from like South Asia. So, but it does exist in Arabic. So,
Ayn. Ayn.
Ain. Okay, I'm gonna look up some videos. There's a sound in Russian that I just can't get a good handle on. That's neither here nor there, but Ein sound. Oh, I guess I typed up Ein sound, and I guess there's like a producer called AYN sounds. All right, let me listen to this. No, mute.
Hello,
mute.
everyone.
No. There we go. I'm gonna mute the music for a second just so that I can listen to this video. So turn off YouTube music. You know what? I'm gonna turn off my mic too to, to test this out. Okay, so I watched this video. I didn't practice it out loud, but I'm actually gonna link it in the chat as well. It's more so how to pronounce words in Arabic, but I feel like it will still be helpful. He goes through like ways to pronounce this sound, which sounds like a like almost like an H sound, but it's like almost deeper in the throat. Um what really helps though is that at the very end he like pronounces two words that sound very similar, but like there is a difference, and that's where just having that point of comparison is really helpful because he says like hadi versus like adi, and like I still don't know how to make that sound, but it's like it's still helpful to know like, oh, okay, that's the difference. He also makes a really good comparison of like you might have unintentionally made the sound while wiping your glasses, and at first I was like, what? But he then shows a video of himself, like, when you want to like put some fog on the glasses to clean them. It's like that when you do like a like and you like clean your glasses that way, and it's like, oh, okay. So it's interesting. I still don't really have a good handle on how to pronounce this letter, but I feel like there's some good resources, as long as I think this helps, so knowing that it's called an ain in Arabic, and then knowing that it's a voice pharyngeal fricative. Like I still don't know exactly what that means. I think it has to do with your, I know there's something called a larynx, which is probably where laryngeal comes from, but is there also a pharynx? Is that a thing? But yeah, so that's that letter. Let's go ahead and move on. Going off of the last time I did a hieroglyph learning stream, the rest should be going decently fast, but we're past 4 letters. All right, so this next one, let me go ahead and turn YouTube music back on. And then let's see how to draw this next one, which I've heard it being described as a quail chick. Kind of looks like it too. The quail chick looks like it's a W or a oo sound, so it looks like a soft, like woo. A what? Like a huh? Okay, let's look at how to draw this little quail chick. Once again, I'm using the Japanese calligraphy video. Oh, let me mute. Okay. Cat. There is a cat in the room. He's trolling through the bathroom. Who knows what untold sins he will be doing. Okay, so this little chick. Oh no, wait, I wanted to play back in like a quarter speed. Please stop. Okay. Okay, it looks pretty similar to the vulture where you start with the head first. Cat's so wacky. And then go down. Oh no, this one, okay, it's not as vertical. Let me mute for. Cat's being silly. The cat's on our table. And he's, oh no, don't. He's just walking around like he owns the place. And in the end, doesn't he? Especially since we're talking, maybe he knows that we're talking about ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, and he's like, oh, that's me. That's mine. Okay, so seems like a very shallow line, and then down to connect. And then little wing down for the legs, and the 2 lines are parallel, and then you connect them with a horizontal line and a little eye. All right, let me see what the stroke order was. Looks like it's the first one is a curve, and then a softer curve down here. Yeah, Cat's like, I was treated as a god back then. And now all you do is give me kibble. and occasionally scritchy scratches, this is not enough. I need offerings and I need them now. Oh, and he's meowing, so let me mute to go open the door. Alright, I let the cat out. It's so funny how he like demands, like he just meows like meow, like you will obey me. Oh, my capture card fell now. Okay, let me get that. Well, it doesn't look like my iPad is cutting out, so okay. Now I poop in a box. Yeah, cats be like that. They're like, I was once worshipped with temples, and there was even a cat goddess, and now look at me, pooping in a box instead of outside. This sucks. I'll say, where's my kibble? I demand the kibble, human. Alright, so down like that. I do have a story from when I visited my mom yesterday. It's a bit shocking. Well, not too shocking, but basically she said that her cat, she has a cat named Zuki, short for zucchini, was playing with something, and my mom like looked at it really closely, and it turned out, and she was like, is that a tail? And it was a mouse, y'all. The cat had caught a mouse. And I think this is the first time like anyone in my family had ever seen like a mouse like in real life. Yeah, and the cat was playing with it, and like, but my mom, you know, it's like it's still like considered like vermin, so they were just, oh, you know what, my iPad isn't updating. I wonder if it's because the capture card is loose. Sorry, let me. Huh, why isn't it updating? Deactivate, activate? Activate? I think some wires had come loose. Oh, your dog has caught 2 rats? Oh no, were they big? Because like when my mom was talking about the mouse, she said it was tiny. Like no bigger than like an inch. Oh no, why did I stop moving? Okay, cool. So you can hear me. My iPad isn't coming back up though. I think dropping the capture card did do something. One was big. Oh no. The other was small. Alright, let me try to reconnect my capture card. There we go. Alright, we're back. Dang, how big and small are we talking? Like, is one the size of your hand and another one is like an inch? Because, yeah, my mom said that the mouse was small. It was like no bigger than like an inch or an inch and a half. But of course, it's still considered vermin, right? So my mom was like terrified. What she did instead of just like screaming is that it was actually in her room. So she closed the door, and then she lives in like a 2-story apartment. It's like a townhouse looking thing, but not as fancy. She closed the door, and then she called my dad, who was just downstairs, and she said like, there's a mouse. Like the cat caught a mouse. My dad came over. I think he had some kind of mouse trap, and then like just caught the mouse, and like unfortunately had to like kill it and like eventually disposed of it. I don't know what he did with it. My mom doesn't know either, but yeah, he like they unfortunately like had to kill it instead of release it, or I don't know. That's just the way that my dad went about things. But apparently, According to my mom, now the cat has been very sad. And she's like, "Oh, what if they were best friends? What if it's like Tom and Jerry and like and now we killed his best like her best friend. Isn't that sad?" Like now she's Kawawa, which is like Tagalog for like sad or pitiful, sad. And then like even when I came over, usually when I come over because the cat doesn't recognize or the cat doesn't know me really because I don't live there. Usually when I come over, the cat is very wary of me. Also because we have our own cat, she probably smells our cats on me. She's like, "No, do not touch me. Do not even look at me, mortal." But this time she like did not care. I don't think that's necessarily like her being depressed, but like she would like be sleeping on my mom's bed. She would look up at me and she'd just be like, "Oh, you," and then like go back to sleep. Because usually she's like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" And then she'll like go and run and hide. Or she'll like sniff me and then she'll hide. But this time she was just like, "Oh, it's you. Okay." It's like, oh no, she's really sad. Yeah, one was the size of my thumb and it was a small baby, but the other was the size of your hand. Oh man, rats are like, they're, okay, in my opinion, rats are really cute. They're really cute and they're really intelligent, right? That's not an opinion, that's just true that they're really smart. But you know, because they're like all over cities and they eat valuable precious material or they chew through wires, of course they're seen as vermin, right? But yeah, I've seen videos of rats, like the cute ones that are like, you know, like pets. They seem really you know, really smart, really intelligent. But like the idea of seeing one just out in the wild or within your household that's that big is like terrifying. It's like imagine a possum in your house. Like yeah, they're cute, they're adorable, they scream, but oh man, I don't know if I would want that in the house if that wasn't like a pet. Anyway, to get back to drawing this little quail. 3 is the wings. And then 4 is the legs. It seems like it's just 2 parallel lines. So 1, 2, and then a third horizontal line. So that's 4. Now with all that said, let's go ahead and try it out. Mega Bronson when I'm afraid of them biting me. Yeah, especially because like I know not all animals, like I know it's like a stigma of like, you know, rabies, getting rabies from getting bitten by wild animals, but rabies is scary. Rabies is legitimately like scary. But I was gonna ask Mega Bronson, when your dogs brought it to you, were they like super happy? Were they like, "Look, I got you a present"? Or was it just like dropped it off dropped it off like on your feet and it's just like it's your problem now? Because I know cats, like, I don't know, there's actually 2 parallel lines going down. I know like with cats, the theory is that they like give us food because they think we're like really dumb kittens that can't like feed ourselves. And that's why they like drop off like little prey animals. They're like, "Here, eat it." But like for dogs it's just like, look what I found. Okay, cool. So this is the quail chick. And this is the woof. The woof sound. Let's see if is there anything special here? No. But let's look at the chart. Oh, actually there's a second way to do woof and it's just a spiral. Actually, let me try a little bit harder. So it's almost like a E, but reversed. Oh no, it is like an E. It's not reversed, it's just an E. The dogs definitely thought of it as I took away their toy. Oh no. It's mine. So Sorry, that's not a sick cough. It's another one of them saliva down the wrong the wrong portion. Dog's just like, that's my toy. Why'd you take it away? Meanwhile, like all the like you and other people are just like, oh god. Okay, so here is the chick. The picture of a quail chick is simply a W, a labial glide. Labial is lips, so what? Oh, so almost like the air glides out of. Is that what that means? So like a labial glide is that the air kind of like glides through your lips. So w. However, like y, the w has become very weak and sometimes disappears. While it is tempting and sometimes compelling to read it in some contexts as a vowel, as in the name of the the builder of the Great Pyramid, Khufu. We don't usually have any evidence of that. W is written O in Coptic, but this is because there is no W in Greek and O can make do. When it is followed by a vowel, there is not much ambiguity. Thus, wusheb, answer in Egyptian, usheb or wusheb, in Coptic similarly. The one, female for a goddess, in Egyptian is this in Coptic. Oh, interesting. So this is the word for like an answer, a question or an answer. So wusheb. Interesting. This is like a, okay, so like a W or an U. They weren't sad, they were just like jumping around waiting for me to throw. Oh no! Why aren't you throwing the rat? I'm gonna catch it. My nieces and nephews were all yelling as I had to grab them all. Oh no! Oh no! Gosh, that's so funny. It's like the dog from Up. The like, I just bet you and I love you. but for your dogs, it's like, yeah, throw it. I'm gonna go catch it. Oh man, animals are great. Because we're talking about Egyptian hieroglyphs, and because you know that I love mythology and stuff. There is the cat goddess Bastet and the dog, the jackal god Anubis. And apparently them being like the respective like gods that they are is based off how the Egyptians saw them in daily life. Because in the case of cats, Egyptians kept their food in like granaries, like they had grain, and they would keep them like in storage. However, rats and other vermin could easily get through like the granaries and eat the grain, and that would be terrible because then that means the Egyptians had no food. However, the Egyptians would observe the cats hunting the vermin, and even though the cats are doing it for their own needs because they like to eat rats and mice and stuff, the Egyptians saw it as like, oh, they're helping us. They're protecting our food storage by hunting these rats and mice. So that's why they started revering the cats, because quite literally the cats were like good for their livelihood. And then that led to them being revered and even having a cat goddess named Bastet. In the case of dogs, they would so lots of people know about mummification, right? So mummification, or just the fact that Egyptians would mummify their dead. The origin of that is the fact that like Egypt is in a desert, and whenever like in ancient times, like whenever you disposed of a body of a loved one, you could bury it out in the sand, and the sand would kind of because it's so dry, the body, instead of decomposing, it would mummify. It would naturally mummify. So they would leave the bodies in the sand. However, this would attract dogs, like wild dogs, like jackals. So they would go and they would, like consume. I don't know if it was like the human bodies, but the Egyptians would observe the dogs consuming dead bodies, right? Like carrion, essentially. And they started to give this association of like the dog, the jackal, with death. And that's why the god of embalming, Anubis, has a jackal head because of that association. Our German Shepherd is definitely like the dog from Up. Oh, that's so cute. I just met you and I love you. God, that's so cute. Okay, so moving on, we have foot. This one seems pretty straightforward, but I'm going to go to the calligraphy video, see how he did it. Oh, he does it pretty simply. I might actually be able to just do this with the calligraphy pen. So just down and then diagonal. Does he even do like a shorter diagonal like this? No, he doesn't. He just goes straight horizontal. And then instead of going up, he does the top of the foot and then down. Oh, so I kind of overextended it, but that's okay. Okay, so what that looks like is first he went down, then diagonal, then horizontal, and then he went back up. He goes up, goes this way, horizontal, and then lastly he goes down. Yeah, and that is just the foot shape, and that is for the letter B. Let's actually put this here. That one seems pretty straightforward. I don't know if there's like any other extra notes that would come with pronouncing the B. Because like it might exist in other languages, but you know, in English B is just B. Well, let's see. The picture of a foot. This is a B of voice bilabial plosive or stop. B's in ancient Egyptian often correspond to M in Hebrew or Arabic. The salim. Oh, I think that's just like salam, like assalamu alaikum. And then shalom, peace, to be healthy, is SNB. So sinib. Oh, interesting. So first of all, I didn't know that salam and shalom mean the same thing. I've heard like assalamu alaikum, and I've heard shalom, but it looks like it comes from the same, not the same root, but it's similar. So the M becomes a B or vice versa. Similarly, B's in such Semitic languages can turn up as M's. Ah, okay. So Ramanan or Lebanon for Lebanon. So I wonder if this is pronounced Seneb or Sineb. Cool. But yeah, otherwise it's fairly straightforward. So it's B. It's a B. Oh wait, too black. B. Next one is P. Oh, this one's pretty straightforward too. It's just a square. There you go. That's a P. The picture. Oh, it's a stool. This is a P, an unvoiced bilabial. Note that the P doesn't exist in classical Arabic, which means that the word in which means that words from Coptic like pa, which is the, oh, it's like an article, turn up as ba in Arabic. Oh, interesting. Okay, so the next one looks a little bit more complicated, but it is an F. It looks like a slug. Is it? Oh, it's a horned viper. Okay, so let me see how the calligraphy dude does it. Oh, it's a little bit more like organic. So he does like, wait, rewind. Okay, so he starts from the head, then curves up, and then down, up, down, and he comes back down and follows that down, up, down. Or actually, he doesn't even, for the bottom, he doesn't even do like down, up, down. He just kind of does that. And then he does the two horns. It looks like a slug. All right, let me pause that video and let me try it again. So he starts down, then a little down, up, down. And then the bottom one is just kind of like a straight, or a straighter, just bottom line, followed by the horns. So let me see. So it is down, up, down. This is the first stroke. The second stroke is just that way. And then the last two are just the horns. Cool, let's try it. Let's try it with the calligraphy brush. That was kind of half-assed. Okay, let's do that again. And then like that, and then the two horns. All right, cool. Easy peasy. So that is F. Let's see what the notes say about it, what the site says. The picture of a horned viper, this is an F. Voiceless labiodental or bilabial fricative. So to break it down, labio means lip, dental means teeth. Voiceless f. Oh, so you're connecting your teeth to your lip. That's what causes the f sound. Or a bilabial fricative. So two lip fricative, so p. What? Is that another way to say F? Interesting. Okay, so that is F. Fairly straightforward. Let's go ahead and make a little bit more room. Actually, since we're going to the next row, what I'll do is I'll just start a new layer. New layer. Alright, cool. We're like a third of the way in. Oh no, but it's another complex shape. Okay, but it seems like this is also fairly straightforward in terms of pronunciation. This is just M. So let me go over to the calligraphy guy. See when he gets to what looks like an owl. And I think it is an owl. But let's go ahead and take a gander. And do my sketching brush. So we're starting at the top of the row here with the M. Okay, so he starts off with... Oh, not even the head. It's kind of like the neck. And then he goes down. Oh, but it's like a curve. And then stops, goes horizontal. Very similar to the first one. Oh, but he continues the shape. Okay, I'm going to stop here so that my short-term memory will let me do the stroke order. So it's like the first stroke is kind of like a curved horizontal. And then down, but then a curve down, like a curve outward. So that's the first stroke, or first couple strokes rather. 2 is this curve till it goes down, horizontal, and then up, down again. All right, so that's just the body. Let's see. Oh no, it is the head. It's just that the okay. Let me show you what I just saw. So I thought like the head would be like up here, right? No, the head is right inside the shape. So it's like horizontal, then a V. It's like a sleepy little owl. He slept. He just like me. He sleepy. This is 3. You just make the face. And then next is the wing. Oh, interesting. So the line goes like outside. the line goes outside and touches some grass. So it starts this way, and then there's like a pretty dramatic curve that goes like this. Is that right? Yeah, it is, because he immediately goes on to the next step. So it's a, oh no, let's do this color, some green. Yeah, pretty dramatic curve. Then he immediately goes into the next one, which is the legs. Horizontal line. And then this one actually just goes in like that. He looks kind of he looks kind of shy. It looks like he should be doing like this with the fingers. Right, like it's a little like woo. Yeah, he looks like it's like the legs. It's like the meme of like the you know what I mean. That's what the owl looks like. Oh, what's this talk about dogs and rats? Oh, so we were, how did we get to this? Oh, our cat was being silly. My cat was being silly. He was jumping up on the table, and I wonder if he knows that we're doing hieroglyphs, and he's just like, I was once a god in ancient Egypt, you know, and now I poop in a box, and now I have to ask to leave and stuff. And then I was telling the story about how my mom's cat was playing with a little mouse, and then Mega Bronson said that his dog captured 2 rats. So yeah, like I love mice and rats. I think they're very cute, they're very intelligent, but of course they're also seen as vermin in society and whatnot. So they had to be disposed of. So yeah, that was the story. But yeah, now we're looking at this owl, which kind of looks like very ooh very I can his candy. But okay, so there's the owl. Let's go ahead and move this to the side and let's try it again. I'm gonna keep the uwu drawing, but let's try it with ink. So it's like a horizontal curve down and then curve out. Another curve. Oh, this looks a little funky. Okay, there we go, like that. Horizontal up, down, like that. And then the face, the wing, which has a pretty dramatic curve like that, and the legs this way, like that. Cool. Alright, so that's the first letter of the new row. This one is just an M sound, which sounds pretty straightforward. The picture of an owl, this is an M, a bilabial nasal resonant. Bilabial means 2 lips, so Oh, nasal resonant? Does that mean that technically the M sound comes from our nose? It's giving the knowledge owl from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Oh my god, that's right. Avatar was just so good. I've been using it in our classes because we teach about like mythical creatures, and like you know how Avatar has like it's not necessarily mythical creatures, but they're all like mixtures of already existing animals. Like it's not just a bear, it's an owl bear, or it's a turtle duck. And it's like to the point where like, isn't there a character who just has a bear and the characters are confused and they're like, It's just a bear? Like it's not a platypus bear? It's not a hedgehog bear? It's just a bear? Am I gonna watch the live action? I'm assuming you don't mean the M Night Shyamalan, M Night Shyamalan, the one that was already made, but the new one. I would be interested. It seems like they like are doing better on casting and stuff in comparison to the M Night Shyamalan one. But I did hear that like the original creators left, right? Like they left for like creative differences, which I don't know, that sounds like a bit like a red flag, but it seems like it'll at least be better than the M Night Shyamalan one. So we'll see. I know that there was controversy over who they casted for the water avatar before Kyoshi, cuz before Aang it was Roku, Kyoshi, and then like a water one, right? There was controversy because like they casted a like light-skinned person who is actually native. I think he's indigenous. So like, you know, +1 for casting an indigenous person, but it was also like a light-skinned person, whereas like the water tribe is based off like Inuit peoples, right? So yeah. Oh no, not Korra, because Korra's the next one. This is like the avatar before Kyoshi. So like before Aang was Roku from the Fire Nation, before Roku was Kyoshi from the Earth Kingdom, and then before Kyoshi was like a water one, but I forgot his name. But then Korra is the next one after Aang. So yeah. But yeah, so the casting for that one is that they casted a light-skinned indigenous person. So people were like, oh, what? Just cast like a dark-skinned person. Which, yeah, it's like those kinds of things, like it's tricky. There's nuance. Like I said, he is indigenous. So I think it's also like, it kind of sucks for him too, because like that's how I feel, you know, like I've taught at a Filipino school where there's a lot of, you know, mixed, like they're multicultural or bicultural, you know, like they're Filipino plus something else, and like it's rough for them too, because they get seen as like not Filipino enough, and it's like Filipinos already have that struggle. Now you got to put in the fact that they don't look Filipino, and it's kind of a shame. So I do wonder what's going through this the actor's head too, of like, yeah, he's indigenous and he might even have grown up with the culture, but because he has lighter skin and has like more westernized features, it's like, oh, you're not indigenous enough. But on the other hand, like I do get to the criticism of like, we need to see more like indigenous faces in the media. And if the only indigenous faces we're seeing are the ones that have like Western beauty standards, then, you know, like what good are we doing? So I understand both sides, but to me it also like it also feels like a shame for the actor, because he probably worked hard to be where he is, right? So yeah, that's my take on it. Not to say all the stuff that also comes with like white privilege and stuff, but still there's I just have firsthand seen it a lot of like lighter skin, like mixed race Filipinos feeling like excluded from the community. But yeah, I'll get off my soapbox. Well, let's get back to this. So this one also seems pretty straightforward. I'm not gonna change to the sketching brush, but it's like a lot of ziggy zaggies. Does it matter how many though? Because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I count that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The picture of water. Oh, so this represents water. This is an N. Alveolar nasal resonant. Cool. All right. So we have M and N. This one also seems pretty easy to remember because, like, if you look closely, like, the letter N can be found in it. Ah, not bigger. Okay, so let's go to the next one, which is R. This row seems like it'll be pretty straightforward until we get to the H's, because then it's like, oh, what's the difference between these two? Okay. Let me go ahead and do my sketchy one. No, actually, do I need to? I think the next one is also fairly straightforward. It is the mouth. So you just do... Well, I say straightforward and then fuck it all up. There you go. So it looks like it could be an eye if you do this, right? But it's actually a mouth. I've also seen versions in wall art where it's a little bit like there's an inner and an outer, right? But that's the R sound. And I don't know if there's any other like nuance to it. It's just okay. Oh, and actually here there is. So the picture of a mouth. This is R, a resonant whose varieties can no longer be determined for ancient Egyptian. Oh, interesting, because there are different kinds of R's now that I think about it. Like if you think of actually like apparently American, like the way that Americans say R is like very I guess unique linguistically, because if you look at Japanese or even Spanish, I don't know how it is in Tagalog, but in Japanese there's the word kokoro. Let me write it here. Kokoro, which is Japanese for heart. But the way that you pronounce it is you wouldn't say kokoro like the way that Americans say it, like, you know, or I don't know, is it just Americans that say it like that? But kokoro, or like what's another one, like rolling. It's there's almost like your, let me say kokoro, ro. Your tongue touches the top of your palate, so like the roof of your mouth. So kokoro, your tongue is more so like in the middle of your mouth. Kokoro, ro. That is like your tongue is almost like barely touching like the palate, but like there's still enough space for air to escape, which makes that R sound. So kokoro. What this is saying is that we don't know what the variant is for Egyptian. Is it like a r, like a rough, or is it like a ro? Note that there is no L in Egyptian. Usually Egyptians just pronounce foreign L's as R's. Oh, kind of like Japanese. Definitely an interesting convo about, if you look more about Western, you have the Western culture. Yeah, definitely. There's a lot to be said about that. Oh yeah, exactly, L. So like similar to when you say L. Yeah. Because like, yeah, that's the case in Japanese, right? If you say like, I'm trying to think of like a good one. Lament, like the English word to lament something. The one way that you can pronounce it in Japanese would be like ramento. But it seems like it's the same in Egyptian. So usually Egyptians just pronounce foreign L's as R's, when Greek names like Ptolemaios or Cleopatra were later transcribed, the bilateral sign ruwa was used for L. So would it be like Tolermaios, and then Cleopatra? Lopriano, however, advances the opinion that the contrast between R and L may not have been lost in all dialects of Egyptian, since independent L's emerge in Coptic, and it seems to have been indicated by NR grapheme in late Egyptian texts that reflect the spoken language. So interesting. So the letter itself is pretty simple. It's just the mouth. Is Egyptian derived from Latin? I don't think so. I think it's because Latin is what's called an Indo-European language, if I'm recalling it correctly. Egyptian is more like well, they use the word Coptic, but it seems like in terms of language families, it's more closely related to like Semitic languages, like Arabic and Hebrew. But let me actually look it up right now before I start talking out of my butt. I want to make sure I'm accurate in my research. So yeah, Egyptian language. Oh, it says here Afro-Asiatic. So I guess that means that it would be more closely related to like languages that you would find in like modern day Africa. So like like Ethiopian, I want to say. I'm looking at a chart here. So there's like Libyo-Chadic. Chad. Oh yeah, so that's what it's okay. I'm looking at like a tree, and this is Google. Take it with a grain of salt, right? But it seems like there's a family called Afro-Asiatic, and it's divided into like Libyo-Chadic, which is like the language of like modern day Libya and Chad, and then one of the branches is Egypto-Semitic, which means that like it's very closely related to Hebrew and Arabic. And then the next branch is Cushitic, which is like modern day Sudan. And then Omotic, I'm not entirely sure what region that is. But yeah. So yeah, it is pretty cool. So yeah, Latin comes from like Indo-European. That's why if you look at so like all the Romance languages like French, why am I blanking? Spanish, Italian, they all come from Latin, right? And then Latin also comes from like Indo-European languages, which also includes languages from South Asia, like Indian languages. So like the way that you can kind of see the way that you can see that family tree is by numbers. So like let me see here. Like, so 1, 2, 3 is how we count in English. In Spanish, uno, dos, tres. The un and the w in one like are kind of related. 2, it kind of evolved from like 2 to duo, dos, duo, 2. Like they are kind of sort of related. They kind of sound alike. And then 3, tres, trio. Those are all related as well. But apparently 1, 2, 3 in Hindu. You see very similar things in like Indian languages. So according to Google, once again, take this with a grain of salt, the way to count in Hindi would be ek, do, teen, or thin. So do sounds very similar to do or duo, two. Thin has th, like that sounds like it does kind of come from like trio, three, that kind of stuff. So those languages are all related. I wonder if our pronunciation is similar to its origin language. I think that's what's cool about this page, is that it's kind of it's adding a lot of context. Like when we were talking about, oh, this was a cool one, the one with shalom. Like here, this is B. This is just B, like B. But it says here that it in let's see. B's in Egyptian often corresponds to M in Hebrew or Arabic. Thus the word salam, which is like you see in the phrase assalamu alaikum, like peace be upon you. Or no, I don't know if that's what that translates to. Don't take me on that. And this is shalom, for peace. To be healthy, like peace be upon you. In Egyptian it would be, instead of with an M, it would be with a B. So sineb, meaning to be healthy. And then like Lebanon, in Egyptian, it would be pronounced like Remenun. Depends on what the vowels are here, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like it's saying that like, oh, this is how it's pronounced in like modern Egyptian. This is how it's pronounced in Hebrew. This is how it's pronounced in Arabic. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Like you get to see kind of how they're related to one another. Yeah, I think that's what's so interesting about like learning like an ancient language like Egyptian, is that you can kind of see the family line. That's very uwu of them. Yeah, I agree. Alright, so this next one is an H sound. Okay, so now there's 2 H's. This is where it gets a little complicated, because it's like, what's the difference between the two? No, I don't want it to be bigger. I just want it over here. I won't change to my sketching brush. I will keep on doing my calligraphy brush, so yeah, pretty straightforward. Actually, there's no inner one. It's just that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 strokes. But 5 has to be a little clearer. Okay. And this is the H sound, but there's another H. So I'm wondering if there's a differentiation between the two. It's not telling me. So we're gonna have to go back to that other chart. The picture of a reed shelter in the fields. This is a simple H. A voiceless glottal fricative. So glottal is so your epiglottis in the back. Fricative means friction. So huh, huh. So the air has friction against your epiglottis. Huh, huh, huh. Okay, pretty straightforward. It seems like the next ones will be not so much straightforward. This one, during my first stream, I had so much trouble drawing this. I still might. Because I'm like, so, let's see. I have a Japanese calligraphy video that I can watch for this. But, let me check it out. You know what? I'm going to have to switch to my, to my sketching brush to really get a handle on it. Let me see if he does draw it, right? I hope he draws it. No, does he not? No, why? No, I'm looking at like a Japanese calligraphy video where he like does Egyptian hieroglyphs, and it's so pretty and it's so, neat. But he doesn't do all of the letters. No. I'm in shambles. Okay. Let's try our best. I wonder if it's just like I keep trying to make it like a DNA strand. Oh, no. 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 Go forward. Oh, give me a sec. I got a message from a coworker, which I can answer this after the stream. Oh, it's easier to draw when you make the circles a bit wider. Okay, let's do that. Let's try that out. So, like... Oh, no, it's a little, like... It is easier, actually. It is easier. It's just that mine keeps on ending up, like, lopsided. So a part of me is wondering if it... Instead of, like, trying to connect it all with one stroke, if it's also just... just draw the circles... Or maybe even this one is like connected. So like 2 circles. Like that, Something like that. Like that sounds like, that looks like it makes more sense rather than trying to like connect it together. But if you guys are able to like... Oh no, actually, like that was very close. That was very close just there. That one, I need to find a guide on how to like draw this one, because this one is the one that I struggled with the first time around. But yeah, I do like the tip of like just make the circles a little wider. Yeah, it's like getting there, right? It's getting there. But for now, we'll do circle, circle, and then this little number right there. So I'm not, for the sake of like, I don't want to cause any confusion, I'm not going to do the stroke order because I don't even know for sure what the stroke order is. But now let's find out how this sounds. Okay, so this picture of a wick of twisted flax. Oh, is that what that is? It represents another strongly guttural consonant, an H, which, like 9 above, occurs with a strong contraction of the throat but without voicing. A voiceless pharyngeal fricative. Yeah, I wonder if some people wrote it like that since you see so many different variations of letters. Yeah, exactly. Kind of like how A can be written like that, or like that. Or if it's capital, like that, or like that. So, yeah. I think exactly right. So, voiceless pharyngeal fricative. So, pharyngeal fricative. Pharyngeal. So, fricative means friction. Pharyngeal. I'm just gonna look it up. What is pharyngeal? Because I know what labial is. I know what dental is. I know what laryngeal is. That relates to your larynx. Oh, lol. Pharyngeal relates to the pharynx. So, okay, so where is the pharynx? Oh, interesting. So your larynx is down in the throat. Your pharynx, which I wasn't really entirely certain was a thing, is like in the back of your mouth, very close to your epiglottis. Let's see what the book itself says about this letter. Emphatic H made in the throat. So, huh? Like, huh? That's my attempt at it. Let's see this one. This is the letter ha in Arabic. Another sound that Egyptians today can still pronounce without difficulty. It is not like the ch in Hanukkah in Ashkenazi Hebrew. Okay. So the video that I watched, oh no, it's okay. Give me a second. Suddenly the Netflix started playing in the background, but it's all good. So the Arabic video that I was watching earlier on how to pronounce, which one was it? The ayn, this one. I think it also went over how to pronounce the ha. So it's like it sounds like it's an H, but like deeper, kind of back in the throat. So ha. But once again, not 100% sure. So, you know, this is us learning together. Oh wait, is Randon fucking streaming right now? God damn it. Okay, we're raiding into him. Y'all caught me monologuing. This is fun though. This is a lot of fun. So, I'm I realized the time. I was like, wait, god damn it, I wanted to raid into him, so I'm gonna raid into him. This was fun though. I definitely want to continue this. I know that, you know, we're going kind of slow, but it's because I want to like make sure that I really know what is being referred to here. So I think in between now and our next hieroglyph learning stream, I'm gonna look into like all of the linguistic things that they mention in this chart. So stuff like, what does it mean when it says a voiceless pharyngeal fricative? Because I only know a little bit because of like knowing like the root words like fricative, friction, pharyngeal, like labial means lips, so you make that sound with your lips. So in the meantime, I want to figure out what those all mean. So yeah, and that should help us. But thanks everyone for tuning in. This has been really fun, just getting to like chat about different like language and like cultural stuff together. So, and I think next time I'm also going to try and have something where like I'll list what resources I'm using, just so that so I'm not just pulling stuff out of my butt. So yeah, well, I'm glad you had fun, Elle. So okay, let me go ahead and where's my Twitch? There we go. Alright, let me stop raids and then let's raid into Randon Nuring, the stinky orc VTuber. He's not really stinky, it's just affectionate. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you. I am usually off Sundays, so I'll see you Monday at my usual time at 6:30. And I'll also have my schedule on my Twitter. So Schmed. Yeah, my schedule will be on my Twitter either today or tomorrow. And the VOD will be on YouTube. You have a good rest of the You have a good rest of the day as well, Elle, and everyone else who's still in chat. So Mega Bronson. I don't know if Matthew Kudaketa are still in. But yeah, have a good rest of the day, everyone, and I'll see you all when I see you all. Okay, yeah, let's raid that stinky guy. Bye, everyone.